Might Morphin Power Rangers Battleforce is a classic example of what could have been. By retelling the first two seasons of a hit show from the 90s in a new story, it introduces gamers to classic characters and villains alike. However, the condensed story fails to deliver. When mysterious terrors start to appear of Angel Grove, it forces the Power Rangers into action. The gameplay is your classic 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up in the vein of the Turtles arcade game and other classics like Streets of Rage and Final Fight. When it comes to playing the game, you select one of the 5 Rangers. The Green Ranger needs to be unlocked. 6 chapters cover the story of the game, which is broken down into 3 different areas. This is where you'll fight your way to a boss encounter broken down into 2 different stages. One at a normal size and a giant sized version of the boss, which results in summoning the iconic Zords to create the Megazord. While the game on the surface is typical of a side-scrolling genre of games, the game gives the player a chance to upgrade your selected ranger to help increase health, attacks and devastating team moves like a full screen beam that kills everything on sight. One of the highlights of the game is the use of sound clips and classic themes from the show. From Rita Repulsa's classic Magic Wand line to Balkan Skull's theme and the main show's theme for fighting battles in the Megazord, it's a nice touch and will fill gamers with a ton of nostalgia, and it gives you a feeling of playing an episode of a TV show. In addition, after you face off with Lord Zed, you'll come across putties wearing the redesigned look with Lord Zed's logo on it. Boss fights in the game feature both versions of the Megazord, a lot like the TV show. At first you'll use the battle tank mode to weaken the boss, and then turn into the battle mode to finish the fight. During these boss fights, both segments of the game play completely different. Where with the tank you're asked to target the boss's weak spots and defend yourself from projectiles, where in the battle mode you'll be asked to perform quick time events which come on screen with the occasional button mashing elements. I feel that if this game had been released in the height of the show's popularity in the 90s, then this, even with the flaws, would have been a great adaptation of the TV show. Yet the problems with the game seems to outweigh the positives. By creating a new and standalone story, there are moments in it which doesn't seem to make any sense. In one chapter, the Rangers are informed that they are unable to teleport to one of the towers. For myself, it seemed it was an excuse to include an air rooftop stage. Also, the enemy AR seems to be just lacking. I cannot remember how many times I saw putties get run over in the first chapter by cars. Also, by having fan favourite Tommy, the Green Ranger, locked to about chapter 4 feels strange, and what is worse is the admission of a Dragon Zord for boss fights as well. While the combat at the start of the game seems to be exciting and fun, after a while the game ends up being a basic button mashing game and boils down to light attacks being the better way of fighting enemies on the screen. In addition, when you upgrade your ranger, enemies in the game that cause problems and issues are easily defeated. Also, once you unlock the ability to have a screen-wide beam, not only is it an instant kill for enemies, but you can quickly recharge it, which means you can use it time after time. But yet, the biggest problem with the game is after a while, the wow and fun factor becomes boring and repetitive and drags the fun of the game down. While it is possible to complete the game in less than 3 hours, which isn't bad for this sort of title, I feel that there isn't anything which would keep you coming back for more. While there are extra modes unlocked for completing the game, these extra modes boil down to a boss battle mode and a survival mode where you take a ranger up Rita's tower facing off with the enemies of the game. I feel that the only people that would be willing to keep playing this game for a long period of time is the completionist who is after every last achievement or trophy. Power Rangers Battleforce is a game which could have been a great callback for old school fans and new ones alike. While the game's story is flawed, it has its moments. At first the action is fun and exciting, but loses its charm quickly afterwards and drags itself out for too long with repetitive combat and boss fights. If you're interested in this game, I'd wait to see if it's featured in a sale, because paying full price for it could leave you disappointed.